Well, there was a new survey came out this week that showed some of the big 5 bankers might intentionally be giving you poor advice. The Ontario Securities Commission and the Canadian Investment Regulatory Organization found that 1 in 4 bank representatives say clients have been recommended products or services that may not be in their best interests. This follows a public report filed in March that raised red flags about high-pressure sales tactics at major Canadian banks that could potentially put investors at risk. So here to discuss the findings and the larger implications of the surveys, John Ehrlichman. He's a financial commentator, regular here on Your Morning and with CTV. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you.
Okay, so this survey found that scorecards, which is a way of calculating a representative's relevant performance metrics, have a large influence in driving what they're offering to clients. This all makes sense.
Yeah.
More than half of representatives agree that these metrics influence their behavior. Of course, if your bonus or your salary or your take-home pay is linked to what you recommend, that makes a lot of sense. So what does this survey tell us about potentially the information that clients could be getting from the banks? And I should clarify, when I say they're getting bad advice, I should say not the best advice for their portfolio. Not necessarily bad, just not the best.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I think everybody is used to a high-pressure sales tactic at some point in their life for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you were to dig deeper, you'd probably find out that the person who is delivering that high-pressure sales tactic feels pressure themselves from their employer.
Good point.
But when you go and you talk to people that work at these big banks, and remember, we put a lot of trust in the banks to try to give us the best investment advice for our future. We think a lot about these issues all the time, right? If they just randomly survey the industry and find that of a survey of nearly 3,000 people, that a quarter of them say, yeah, there have been instances where we've essentially pushed ideas or products that weren't in the best interest of clients, it's fairly disheartening. And I would add to that, Anne-Marie, that they found that a good portion, more than 20% of the respondents, didn't know how to properly define what are called management expense ratios, which is very important.
What does that mean?
Well, if you buy a mutual fund, there is a fee associated with that. And so the issue around what you're buying and whether it's in your best interests depends on a whole bunch of things. It depends on whether the person who is selling you something is selling you something that they think is going to get you the best return, and that's what you hope for.
Yeah.
But if
that's what you're paying them for,
that's what you're paying them for, and the fees on every investment product that you buy are different. Sometimes individual firms will have higher fees on one product than another product. Are you getting pushed into that product? So I think it's great that we're having the conversation around the reality that people in the industry feel like there's some cleanup to be done.
Yeah.
But it is a bit sobering, for sure.
So how can clients make sure that they're getting the best advice for them? Because here's the problem. You go there thinking, you're going to give me the best advice.
Right.
You're the bank. I'm coming to you because I don't have the knowledge or the power.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully now that they're talking about this, the regulators will put more of a squeeze on the industry itself. But I was at the doctor this week, and I thought I wrote down everything I needed to ask, and then I left. I was like, I forgot to ask this other thing. Do the same thing when you're talking about your money and your investments, and feel that it's okay to ask, what's in it for you? I mean, we put a lot of trust in the person who's giving us the advice, but you can ask those questions too. Why are you putting me into this product? How do you get paid, or how does your bank get paid? Just asking questions hopefully gives you a little bit of self-protection in this process, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we have to make good investment decisions, and so this is part of that process, asking the right questions to get to good investment decisions.
Oh, so there's such a larger conversation, first around regulation in the industry, the red flags that were raised about this being offered as a service in the first place, but also just on financial literacy in this country. The fact that you, to me, I sometimes feel like I walk in like I would to a mechanic's office where I don't know how to fix my car, I'm trusting you to fix it. Anyway, it's a larger conversation, which they're telling me we don't have time to have right now. John Ehrlichman, I'm so glad
I wholeheartedly agree, Anne-Marie.
Which is why people should follow your Instagram account as well. You got a lot of great information there.
Thanks a lot.
John, thanks so much.
Okay.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.